what's going on? What's going on? Trump signed crypto bill yesterday, so I'm finna basically go through this a little bit and see what's really going on. Getting everything set up right now. I'm gonna look at a few cryptocurrencies and actually go through it a little bit and give my take on what I really think. But it looks like they're starting to try to regulate this crypto. Let's see, YouTube, yeah. They're starting to regulate this stuff, which is good news. Because one thing, scammed and by a lot of this crypto, like having insurance where you are protected. But I know a lot of people don't like that, but you got to have some kind of protection. And of course, you got to do your own, due diligence to see what coins are best for you. But of course, everybody like Bitcoin is like the main one. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to, oh no. Let's see. Let me get back over here. All right. All right. Appreciate y'all for joining me. If you are tapping in, we're going to look at Bitcoin. See, since we had that bill signing, we did go up a little bit, which that was yesterday. So we did go up a little bit. Let me look at something real quick. I should have did this yesterday, but I didn't. So we did get a little pump on that. Okay, let me go over here to Circle. Circle, which is a stable coin company. Let's check out Circle. See, I like to do this. I like to go over here. That's what I love about this app that I got. I like to go over here and really get a good, let's see, CRCL. RCL. Circle. Okay. This is why I love Circle. Market infrastructure for stablecoin. So we see that Circle is really a new company. It is a new company. It IPO in the middle of June, went from 100 to 300. And we did get a little pullback on this signing of this crypto bill. Overall, we got a pullback, but the signing of the crypto bill went from 230 to 260. Then it sold off at the end. So let me check this out. Look at this video explaining what a stable coin is. Stable coin is, I'm gonna let them explain it. Here we go.
Is crypto. The Genius Act specifically. The White House putting this out on social media saying, Genius Act signed into law. The Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stablecoins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself, the White House says. Caroline Shively also has some reporting on this. Let's watch.
On Friday, President Trump signed the Genius Act, the first ever major law regulating cryptocurrency.
This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself.
The law establishes a framework for regulating stablecoins, tying them one-for-one to the U.S. dollar or other steady assets.
For every digital dollar in a crypto wallet, there'll be a traditional dollar in a U.S. bank account, which will create trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries.
But some Democrats warn the law will allow tech firms to act more like banks without the regulation. Others say it will enrich the president and his family.
Those stablecoins are one of the main vehicles Trump is using to make his corrupt crypto billions.
The House also passed the Clarity Act on Thursday that would establish broader rules for the crypto market, including weakening the power of the Security and Exchange Commission to oversee cryptocurrency. It passed with bipartisan support.
This is not about buying bubble gum with Bitcoin. This is about blockchain innovation happening here rather than overseas.
The Clarity Act takes common sense steps to make crypto work for everyday users, including measures to stop snake oil salesmen and fraudsters and hucksters, and puts Trump's family's coin under regulation.
It's unclear if the industry-friendly Clarity Act will pass the Senate, which could write its own version of the bill. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
All right, a live look at the White House where it's approaching 9:30 at night there. We do have Alex Konanikan standing by. He's the founder and CEO.
A stablecoin is basically a cryptocurrency that's backed by the dollar, backed by gold. It's backed by something. That's basically what a stablecoin is. So let's see what else they got to say
about it. How would you explain this week's news to those type of people? What do these bills mean for the U.S.'s larger commerce landscape?
Well, I believe what happened today is a major milestone in the evolution of money. The evolution which started with seashells or cattle used as initial primitive currency. Then we can fast forward to gold, paper, plastic, wire transfers, payment apps. And now blockchain emerged as the safer and more efficient form of digital money. And digital money is the dominant form of money now. Very few people carry much cash with them nowadays. It's all electronic. So what we are talking about is who is going to dominate the future form of money. And that's why I think that the president was not exaggerating the impact of the act which he signed today, saying that it's as impactful as the first internet revolution.
Will this legislation, for any reason, impact people who don't invest in crypto?
Of course, some people are going to be left behind. The money is shifting constantly in its form. I remember as a young banker, I visited Zurich gold storages of Credit Suisse, and it was stack of gold bullions. That's what wealth was back then. And now things are entirely different. Now you have digital wallets and you can move much more money without having to store them physically at a high cost, transport. So it's just an evolution in making money more efficient. And those institutions who adopt the future of money are definitely going to have competitive advantage over those who fail to adopt cryptocurrencies. And the same, to a certain degree, applies to individuals, because individual investors can make a lot of money on this revolution, just like many investors made tons of money on internet revolution.
So President Trump, we're watching it right now, he signed the law, the Genius Act, today. We know that this establishes the first ever regulatory framework for issuers of what are called stable coins. How are stable coins different from the coins we're familiar with, like Bitcoin or Ethereum?
I think stable coins is something in between from traditional currency and cryptocurrency. They are cryptocurrency in form, but they tied directly to fiat currency like US dollar. In other words, unlike Bitcoin, they do not protect users from inflation because the government can still issue more dollars, etc. But they act as a bridge between the new world of cryptocurrencies, like actual cryptocurrencies, and
What is a stable coin? Cryptocurrency meant to keep a constant value using pegged 1 to the dollar. Unlike other crypto, stablecoin price doesn't fluctuate with supply and demand. Backed by stable assets, the US dollar or gold, mainly used to hold cash or buy other cryptos. That's what a stablecoin is.
fiat currencies. So they play a very important bridge role. And this act is extremely important because it's the first piece of legislation legitimizing the crypto industry as a whole. But it's just the first step because stable coins is just one particular type of coins. And even though they're important, they are not most appealing to investors, considering that they cannot go higher in price than the currency they tied to. For instance, if it's tied to US dollar, that cryptocurrency cannot go over $1 per coin. But occasionally there is a risk of such currencies going down. So investors need to keep it in mind. However, for the industry as a whole, this piece of legislation legitimizes crypto industry and shows the direction this administration and the Congress is taking in recognizing that cryptocurrency is the future and trying to make the United States the crypto capital of the world, which was the objective set by President Trump.
One thing that spooks people about Bitcoin, about crypto in general, is that it's pretty volatile. Does legislation like this and some of the other pieces of legislation that are making their way through Congress right now, do we expect these pieces of legislation to make the market a little less volatile? There are these huge peaks and valleys. If you look at the historical market of Bitcoin and other altcoins, stablecoins, of course, are more stable. Do we expect entities like Bitcoin to look a little bit more stable because of these measures?
Certainly. I think that Bitcoin was more volatile because initially it was a very niche market. In fact, Bitcoin wasn't created to be the ultimate cryptocurrency. It was created to provide anonymity in financial transactions, or to put it differently, to hide money, to hide it from the government, from partners, from spouses. That was the initial use of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has long as overgrown that initial use, but I'm just trying to say that initially crypto was indeed shady. But now what we see now is institutions, major banks, governments are getting involved. And the crypto market now stands at $4 trillion in value. So it's a totally different market. And as the market matures, as more and more players, especially institutional investors, are pulling in, the market is going to be more stable, less volatile. Legitimizing cryptocurrency also helps stability because many of the past fluctuations in crypto market were caused by adverse government actions, like the war on crypto waged by Biden's administration and his SEC chaired by Gary Gensler.
One thing that's important to bring up when we talk about this story is understanding how crypto gets its value. This is a question I asked my guest yesterday, but I'd love your take on it as well. When we invest in a stock, the value of that stock is based off of the success of a company. So what exactly, where does the value come from for a Bitcoin, for example? Is it speculation? Is it something more than that?
Well, it's a combination of factors. But the core value is that cryptocurrency is the most efficient form of money as medium of exchange. When you need to make a payment, you need to use something which can be divided in small units, which can be easily transported, which doesn't lose value over time, etc. So for decades, for centuries, that was gold. But cryptocurrency is more efficient form of money because gold can be stolen. So you need to store it in Fort Knox or those Swiss storages of gold, which I mentioned previously. It's hard to transport and so forth. So cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, they have definite finite supply. 21 million Bitcoins, for instance, cannot be any more of them. And it's easy to transfer. Therefore, it's a tool. Its value comes from being a tool which facilitates economy, but it facilitates international and domestic transactions.
Alex Kananikian is the founder and CEO of Unicoin. Thanks for the informative discussion. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Paying 35 or 40% tariff, that's a deal. Then they'll call and see if they can make a little bit different kind of a deal, like opening up their country to trade. In some cases, they've never been opened, but we're doing well, and we have a couple of big ones to announce pretty soon, right? Could almost do it today. Maybe we'll say it, maybe later on we'll do it. Senator Bernie Moreno, a great victory. Bernie had great victory. A great victory. That was one of the truly tough races. A lot of people weren't sure anybody.
If you're just not joining, we appreciate you for coming in. This is the signing of the crypto bill. That has a lot to do with stablecoin. If you don't know what a stablecoin is a crypto that's backed by the dollar. It's backed by something. In other words, it's in the middle. It's the regular currencies, then it's stablecoin, then it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and different cryptocurrencies like that. So let's listen. I want to watch this.
Sir, could you please stop saying that my wife is better than me, sir? Those are guys that don't usually end up with a good marriage, He's got a great marriage. So thank you, Tom. You really are a fantastic leader and representative. And Representatives Troy Downing, French Hill, where's French Hill? Where is French? You have been so great. Thank you, French. I spoke to him a little late. He was walking down the hall. I said, French. He said, I'm there, sir. You are great, great, great guy. Everyone respects you, French. You know that. Bill Heisinger. Bill, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good job. Dan Muser. I thought he was going to become the next governor.
Hey, what's up, Yazil Lift? I guess, if I pronounced it wrong, I apologize. I regret supporting this turd. Well, a lot of people are saying that these days, but just yesterday, he signed a new crypto bill into law. So let's check this out and see what it's about.
Thompson, GT. Thank you. Andy Barr, good friend of all of ours. Thank you, Andy. Monica De La Cruz. Monica, she's here someplace. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Monica. Mike Haridopoulos. Mike, thank you, Mike. Look good. Mike Lawler, Mr. Salt. Well, it should guarantee your district. I mean, you worked hard for New York, right? And you're on television, I'm on television, so this should be good for a couple of points. But without you and your couple of friends from New York, that wouldn't have happened. That was not easy, right? Congratulations. Great job.
Nailed the taco. Yeah, a lot of people are saying taco these days. But I appreciate y'all for joining me. President Trump did sign this crypto bill into law, which me personally, I think that crypto needs to be regulated. So, you know, a lot of scams are going on with the crypto. And it looks like this is going to be the start of regulating crypto. Appreciate y'all for joining me. I'm your host, the one and only Stock Sniper. I'm just doing a little research, a little listening, you know, to see what's really going on so I can make proper decisions, you know, in my life.
Fantastic, and has been from day one, along with a lot of other people that I won't call out because I have no idea where the hell you are. I think I saw Jason here somewhere. Where's Jason? Oh, it's lucky I called him. Ooh, it's lucky. They didn't put your name because I invited you at the last moment, right? He was over there doing some business in the White House. But you've been incredible in your position. Nobody knows more about taxes and finance than you do, so we appreciate it, right? Is that true, Howard? It's true. Thanks, Jason. Great job. And you'll help out with that other matter. You make him so strong and powerful, right? Along with Deputy Secretary of Treasury, Michael Faulkender. Where's Michael? Good, Michael. How are you? Good. You'll help out over there, okay? And Ambassador Ken Howry. Ambassador? Thank you, Ken. Great job, Ken. I also want to recognize some of the countless industry leaders here today, including Brian Armstrong of Coinbase. You've done a good job, Brian. That's a big deal. Dave Ripley of Kraken. Dave. Thank you, Dave. Jeremy Allaire of Circle. This is a big day. Good job. Good job, Jeremy. Paolo Ardino of Tether. Paolo, thank you, Paolo. Ryan McInerney of Visa. That's a good company. Thank you. Chris Pavlovsky of Rumble. Chris, what happened to your location, Chris? You're always a front row guy. You're just being nice today, I think. How's Rumble doing? Good? Good. If Rumble's doing good, that means Truth is doing good. Truth. That's good. You're doing a great job. Thank you, Chris, very much. Vlad.
Wait.
Vlad, thank you, Vlad. Thank you, Vlad. Good. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss. These are two smart, handsome guys. They got the whole package. They're of Gemini, but they have the whole pack. They have a lot of things, actually, but Gemini's just the one for today, right? They've got the whole, they've got the look, they've got the genius, got plenty of cash, and it's great that you're on our side. You guys are great. I can never tell them apart, but their mother can. I asked, can your mother tell you apart? And the answer is yes, right? Easily, or is it tough for her? Easy, I figure. Good. You guys have been great. Thank you very much. Great to be with you. Let me say the entire crypto community, for years, you were mocked and dismissed and counted out. You were counted out as little as a year and a half ago. But this signing is a massive validation. And even before this signing, over the last year and a half, I think your stuff has gone up more than any stock, or just about more. A couple of stocks that were pretty good, I will say. But you have certainly, as an industry, gone up more than anybody. Nobody's gained the respect in such a short period of time. But this signing is a massive validation of your hard work and your pioneering spirit and your ability to never give up. Because a lot of people would have given up 2-3 years ago. So I want to thank you for contributing to the incredible strength of America. This is going to make it stronger, and congratulations on this incredible achievement. You've made our dollar look really good and strong and powerful. It's good for the dollar and it's good for the country. And that's why I backed you at an early stage. And I also did it for the votes, because you did come out and vote, I will tell you. And they changed tune, Biden's team, they changed tune right in the middle of the campaign. All of a sudden, they loved you guys. They dropped all charges. They did have, I got you guys out of so much trouble. And you know what? I don't think anybody voted for them, right? Because you remember they treated you very unfairly, actually. So it's a great honor that we were involved. And it was a tremendous amount of support that we got at the polls. We won. Think of it, we won every swing state. We won by millions of votes. We won the popular vote. We won the districts by 2,750. Think of that, to 505. Different districts, too, by the way. Every once in a while, that number can change, but it doesn't change by much. The map was almost totally red, and you guys were with us right from the beginning. Exactly 1 year ago this month, many of you were with me in Nashville, Tennessee. Do you remember that day, right? That was a big day, Nashville, Tennessee, when I became the first presidential candidate ever to address the Bitcoin conference. And at this time and at that time, crypto builders and founders were under relentless assault by the Biden administration, which was trying to crush your industry and crush you as people and go after your families. And they were a vicious group of people. People don't realize it. They were vicious, incompetent, but vicious. Well, Joe was an incompetent guy, but he was always known as a vicious guy. I guess if you're going to be in that, you're probably off. If they're incompetent is better, right? Because you don't want to have a vicious guy that's competent. If you did, I wouldn't be standing here today, right? But I pledged that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make the United States the crypto capital of the world, and that's what we've done. And under the Trump administration, this is only going further. You're going to do really well. I mean, I'm so proud of what you've done in the last couple of years, and very important. On day one, I remember I did this and I said this and I mentioned this name, and I got the greatest applause of the whole campaign. We fired Joe Biden's SEC chair, Gary Gensler. We fired him. But I remember I was making a speech, and it was just a line in a speech, and I said, "And I will fire Gary Gensler." The place exploded. I finished like one, and I said, "What the hell did that guy do?" There was a lot of hatred there, I'll tell you. And it turned out, as I got familiar with everything, it turned out you were absolutely right. In his place, I appointed a visionary chairman who wants America to build the future and not block the future. He's going to be unbelievable. He'll go down as one of the greats. And Paul Atkins, where are you, Paul Atkins?
Hello, Selena. Hello, how you doing?
And Paul, the crypto guys, they said, everybody said, not only crypto, every industry, they all wanted Paul for the position. And he's a tough cookie, too. But they actually said, we don't care. We just think he's fair. All they wanted was fairness. And they have somebody that you're really a champion of the street and you're a champion of the country. You're going to do a fantastic job. I saw you interviewed the other night. I watched it about 2 o'clock in the morning. There was a little thing called C-SPAN, which I don't know how many people were watching. Don't worry, you were on primetime too, but they happen to have a little rerun. I don't want to embarrass you. But fantastic job, really. You are absolutely so perfect for the job. Congratulations, Paul. And Paul is here today among the commissioners, various commissioners, including Hester Pierce and Mark Yoida. Hester and Mark Yoida. Thank you, Hester. Thank you very much. And thank you, Mark, wherever you may be. Is Mark here? Oh, stand up, Mark. I didn't. Good. Thank you. Good job. Good. I'm glad I gave you a second crack you didn't hear because of the thunderous applause for Hester. But thank you. I heard tremendous things about both of you. Thank you very much. My first week in office, I also established the first ever presidential working group on digital assets, and we have an executive director. Where's Bo Hines? Bo Hines. Hi, Bo. And Bo is a great football player, right? Bo is a great football player, one of the better players in college football. So I know you from that also. See, who would think that I know that? I know a lot of things, Bo. But he was a champion player. I stopped the weaponization of government against crypto and Bitcoin, and we ended the lawless operation Choke Point 2.0. That was a bad operation. And I kept my promises to the community and granted a full presidential pardon to Ross Ulbricht. Ross Ulbricht. And you have no idea how important that name became. It was like a symbol, and his mother was unbelievable. His mother was an unbelievable woman, but it was so important to a certain group of people. And in the truly momentous act last March, I signed an executive order establishing the U.S. Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, as well as the United States Digital Asset Stockpile. And that's all signed up. And with today's signing, we're pushing even further into the exciting new frontier. Just as I promised last year, the Genius Act creates a clear and simple regulatory framework to establish and unleash the immense promise of dollar-backed stable coins. This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. A lot of people are saying that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes? If you say yes, I'm saying yes. I think it's great that you're involved, I will tell you. Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology. Who would have thought we would have been saying that 2 years after I really met you for the first time? The Genius Act provides banks, businesses, and financial institutions a framework for issuing crypto assets backed one-for-one with real U.S. dollars, treasury bills, and other cash equivalents. Is really strengthening the dollar and giving the dollar great prominence. Okay. And, you know, you have this little group called BRICS. It's fading out fast. But BRICS is, they wanted to try and take over the dollar, the dominance of the dollar and the standard of the dollar. And I said, anybody that's in the BRICS consortium of nations, we're going to tariff you 10%. And they had a meeting the following day, and almost nobody showed up. They said, leave me alone. We didn't want to. They didn't want to be tariffed, did they, Howard? Huh? So it's amazing. No, we're not going to let the dollar slide. If we have a smart president, you're never going to let the dollar slide. If you have a dummy, that could happen. Like the last one, he would. If you ever asked him about the dollar sliding, he would have no idea. But we can't let that ever happen again. Consumers, vendors, and people all over the world will then be able to use those stable coins for ultra-low-cost transactions that are cleared and settled in a matter of seconds rather than weeks and months. And it's really an amazing thing. And with the privacy, flexibility, and decentralization of cash, this revolution has the potential to supercharge American economic growth and empower billions of people to save and transfer in U.S. dollars. It's really all backed by the dollars. It's really a great thing. And a lot of, you know, we had a lot of Democrat support. I have to tell you that. I was shocked. Anytime you get one but we had a tremendous amount of Democrat support, which we appreciate, and which just shows you that you're doing the right thing. This will increase demand for U.S. Treasuries, lower interest rates, and secure the dollar's status as the world's reserve currency for generations to come. The reserve currency is so important. You know, if we lost that, that would be like losing a world war. We can never let anyone play games with us, and that's why when I heard about this group from BRICS, 6 countries basically, I hit them very, very hard. And if they ever really form in a meaningful way, it will end very quickly, I will tell you, for them. They won't be gone very long. I don't think they'll even do it. They're virtually afraid to meet. I also remain fully committed to my pledge never to allow the creation of a central bank digital currency in America. It won't happen. My first. Thank you. And the other night, I will say, with some of the congressmen and women, they wanted that so badly. That was so important to them. I was impressed that they knew what the hell it was, to be honest with you. Please, sir, please, the central bank digital currency, well, you have to make sure, sir. And I'm saying, what do you know about that? It's amazing the knowledge that people have gained all of a sudden. We had a lot of problems with some of them. I said, we've already got it from the Fed, right, from Commerce, and from an executive order. You don't need it a fourth time. Sir, we have to get it. It's amazing. But they knew their subject, though, didn't they, huh? And we helped them out. My first week in office, I signed an executive order to ban the creation of a CBDC in the United States, and very soon I look forward to signing legislation that will codify and ban make it a permanent law, put it in permanence. I'm also committed to signing landmark crypto market structure legislation this year to grow the industry. We're going to be growing it even more than people ever thought. It's a really hot industry. And for a little while, 2 nights ago, we were a little concerned because we were a little short on votes. Like, I would say maybe we were about 9 short. 9 short at 3 in the morning. We were about 4 short at 3:30 in the morning. And we were in good shape at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? But the people and few people.
What's up, everybody? If you just now joining me, I am your host, the one and only Stock Sniper. This is the crypto signing bill that Trump signed into law. We got the CEO of Robinhood in the building, Vlad. We got the CEO of Coinbase in the building. We got the CEO of Gemini in the building. In other words, all the top crypto holders are in this building and supporting that bill, which is now law. So he is talking and rambling. You know that's what he do. I'm trying to get him to the meat and potatoes of the signing of this bill.
Was running at that time. If I get elected, we're going to bring him into government in some ways. Worth a fortune. He's made a lot of money. He's a very rich billionaire. But this is more important, isn't it? This is me too. You know, it's like doesn't matter. This is much. I know Howard and I talk about it all the time. Howard could go back to his wonderful brokerage firm, hire 1 or 2 people, and it's not the same as what you're doing, right? We're doing the biggest deals in the world. Actually, the deal we're doing now in tariffs is the biggest, when you add it up, the biggest deal ever made in history. It could be 1,000 IBMs. I mean, if you think of it, it's the biggest deal ever done. So it's hard to go back to a brokerage firm and, make $79,000 commission on the sale of a stock, right? It's true. But I want to ask David. So David's been fantastic. He's done an incredible job. And I'd like to ask David to come up, say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right, thank you, President Trump. It's a great honor to be here, and it's true that I'd never expected to work in government at all, and then everything changed after President Trump came on my podcast, and I accepted this job as crypto czar because I thought it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to work for a president who really wants to get things done for the American people, and if anything, that's been an understatement. The first 6 months of this administration have been more successful than any administration in American history. What's been done? It's just been incredible. President Trump has worked at tech speed. We're used to working fast in Silicon Valley, but even this is fast for us in Silicon Valley, the speed at which you move, President Trump. It's really incredible. And now today, you have another historic legislative achievement that is a monumental step to fulfilling your promise to making the United States the crypto capital of the world. This Genius Act will unlock American dominance in the crypto industry by creating clear rules of the road. It will update archaic payment rails with a revolutionary new payment system system, and it will extend U.S. dollar dominance, like you said, globally, by creating a digital dollar that people all over the world can use. And for every digital dollar in a crypto wallet, there'll be a traditional dollar in a U.S. bank account, which will create trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. Treasuries. So that is the power of this bill, is U.S. dollar dominance. This is a huge promise made and promise kept by President Trump. And there's just a few other people I'd like to thank. First, my family for being here. Thank you. And Bo Hines, who President Trump mentions, the director of our crypto council, he really did the heavy lifting here. So Bo, I just want to thank you again. And my chief of staff, Tracy Johnson, as well, who also does the heavy lifting. And Bill Haggerty and French Hill and all the congressmen and senators who have already been mentioned by President Trump, so I'll save the time, but it has really been an honor to work with all of you. This was really a team effort, but most of all, I want to thank President Trump for accomplishing what nobody thought was possible, and it's true that just earlier this week, the media was reporting that this bill was dead. This bill was dead, and then the media didn't know one thing, that we had a secret weapon. We have a deal maker in chief. And thanks to President Trump, he stepped in and saved this bill. And it's because of your vision, your leadership, your determination, your skill that we're all here today. So thank you very much, President Trump. Thank you.
Is that Laura? Please come. Just come here. This is our superstar. She was the head of the Republican Party, and nobody complained about anything. We wanted to great. This is Laura Trump, married to a young gentleman named Eric. They have beautiful 2 children, but she has been so good. She stepped into that position like it was nothing that we won, and she said, "Dad, I'd like to go home right now to my beautiful husband and my son and daughter," right? But you did a fantastic job, and you worked with a great gentleman, too. He's doing a fantastic job. But I just want to thank you. I just saw you standing back there. I wanted to bring her in. Thank you very much, Laura. Thank you. So under the Trump administration, I mean, I just got back from Saudi Arabia, and we went to Qatar. We went to a number of countries, and I will tell you the level of respect that this country has now is incredible. The UAE, I tell you what, we had a time there, but every leader said the same thing. They said 1 year ago, your country was dead. And they'd say it that way. It was like, you know, I didn't know whether I was supposed to be happy or insulted, but the truth is we were in deep trouble. But they said 1 year ago, your country was dead. And today you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. And it's true. We have the hottest country in the world. We had a country, we were a laughingstock with the borders, people pouring in. Can you imagine last month, in the month of June, actually, 0. Now, I don't even believe that, 0, because you have hundreds of thousands pouring in, and then all of a sudden it's 0. But they have it down as 0. And very liberal people take that particular toll. It's a liberal group. So they're not giving us any favors. It's 0 people coming through our border. Can you imagine that? From literally hundreds of thousands and millions pouring in from all over the world. They came from all over the world. They came from prisons, jails. They came from mental institutions, gang members. There were gangs. They came from all over the place, from every country. They came from the Congo in Africa, a lot from the Congo. They came from South America. A lot of came from Venezuela. They emptied their jails into our country. Can you imagine? They allowed that, emptied their jails into our country, and they let them walk right into our country like perfect. 11,888 committed murder. 50% committed more than one person. They murdered more than one person. 50% of 11,888. And we had murderers, and we're getting them out, and Tom Homan and Christie are doing a great job. That Tom Homan, I'll tell you, is he central casting or what? And he takes abuse, but they just keep fighting, and they're winning, and we're winning in the courts, so we're winning everywhere. But we've got the hottest country in the world, and you're a big part of it. So the golden age of America is upon us, and with today's signing, the future of crypto and the crypto industry, the U.S. dollar working together, because they really are hand in hand, is going to be stronger and bigger and better than ever before. And I just want to thank everybody, some tremendous people in this room. And maybe when I sign, I'll ask some of our great senators and congressmen to come on up.
Thank you.
Some of the top crypto guys, please come on up because you guys worked very hard on this. And we'll sign this and we'll get on to the next battle and we'll win. But we're winning all over the world right now. It's not even close, not even close. And we're going to keep it going. Thank you, everybody, very much. Thank you.
All right. Sign the bill.
Hello, fellas.
Can you sit down, please? Thank you so much. When? Yeah. Sir?
You got it?
Can you sit down? Thank you so much.
This is not an auto pen, by the way. Which is a big scandal. If that were a Republican, it would really be a big scandal. But it is one of the great scandals of our time. Thank you very much, everybody.
See, let's check out what Bitcoin doing today. Check it out. Appreciate y'all for joining me, man. Now we're gonna see what Bitcoin got going on for today. We did hit our highs of 123,000. Then we pulled back down to 15 in anticipation of this bill being released. We went from 115 back up to 120. Then we sold off back down to 116. Now we're right in the middle of 117. So let's look at Circle, because the Circle owner was also in the building. Let's look at Circle again. As you don't know, Circle is a new company that just IPO'd onto the stock market back in June. Went from $66 all the way up to $300, then pulled back to 171, and now rests at 220, which is pretty cool. Let's look at Coinbase. Let's look at Coinbase, because the Coinbase CEO was also in the building. We got to look and see what these companies got going on after this signing of this crypto bill. I didn't get to look at this yesterday, so I'm basically behind. Here goes Coinbase. Let's go to 5 minutes. So after this signing, ran up to 444 and then pulled back. And pulled back. Okay, what else we need to look at? Robinhood, because the Robinhood CEO was there too. So yeah, all these companies pumped. All these companies rose in anticipation of the signing of this crypto bill, which in my opinion, I kind of agree with the crypto bill, because the scamming, the crypto scamming got to stop. So we're getting real close of regulation of crypto. We're getting real close. But that bill that he signed yesterday had a lot to do with the stable coin. The stable coin is backed by gold and the US dollar. So let's see the US dollar. Has it been affected? We got to look at it. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. It should be somewhere up in here. Where is it? There it go. Yeah, so the US dollar did rise a little bit on yesterday, which I think is okay because it has been getting devalued for a while. Yeah, for a while, but you know, it's trying to come back up, which is cool. Because one thing we don't want the dollar to keep devaluing. We want the value of the dollar to rise. Yeah. It's in here. 50. All right. So yeah, guys, that's all I got for right now. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but some things came up, so I ended up doing it today. If you're not hit the like button yet, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We got 70 people in the building. 70 people in the building. Y'all hit the like button for me, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's see what else is going on today. What was going on today? That was yesterday. Let me see what else is going on.
Security. The message is simple. If you exploit people, break the laws, or profit from legal, will be held accountable. Thank you.
In addition to the agencies already named that are here today, I have to give credit to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, United States Marshal Service, Auburn Police Department, and numerous state and local agencies. Today is a great day for law enforcement because it's what we can accomplish.
Brandon, I'm gonna put you in timeout, bro. You could have came in here and said something intelligent. This is a intelligent chat. You could have came in here and said something. I'm gonna give you a chance, though. I'm just gonna put you in timeout. I'm gonna put you in timeout for 5 minutes, bro. If you want to be recognized, say something intelligent when you come in somebody's chat, bro. We talking about something that's very, very important.
Court hearings and court documents related to the search warrants, which may become unsealed, should shed a lot of light on that sort of information. So at this moment, I can't answer that.
And during the raids, you said were you in contact with victims of human trafficking? Did you make contact with those people while you were serving these search warrants?
We do not have allegations of human trafficking associated with this investigation. There was human smuggling involved, individuals that voluntarily were smuggled into the United States and have been part of this network. However, at this time, we do not have indicators of force, fraud, or coercion associated with trafficking.
Yes, sir.
Were all of the warrants that were issued relating to the accounts up on the screen, or were they warrants for additional things like the confiscated drugs that you mentioned? Were they all related to PPP fraud, or were the warrants a lot broader than that?
As I said, I can't get into the specifics of what probable cause supported search warrants, as those documents are still sealed. I can just tell you that those warrants were part of the same long-term investigation as the federal indictment against Cesar Campos Reyes. So the
George,
investigation writ large involves investigation.
Hold on, guys.
Harboring, illegal gun possession, illegal drug possession and distribution, and the other charges. But I can't break out specifically what supported the search warrant for each individual location.
Over the last year or two, your office in Atlanta has really come down and tried to get to root out PPP fraud. I know I get quite a few news releases along those lines. Is that what precipitated the investigation into Mr. Reyes, or? I guess did the investigation kind of have its genesis with looking at the PPP and the paperwork and things of that?
From the Middle District of Alabama's perspective, I can't get into what kind of started the investigation. As I said, not only are searches still ongoing, the investigation itself is still ongoing. Not only do I expect additional charges based on the people federally detained today who we're working federal complaints signed against, expect additional charges for other individuals as this investigation unfolds.
Justin Brown with WTVM. How do you become aware of a network, like you said, like this? And how did you become aware about the network concerning Mr. Reyes?
I can't speak to specifically Mr. Reyes. I'm not sure if anybody wants to speak in general, but I can't speak, as it's an ongoing investigation, with regard specifically to Mr. Reyes. Some of that may become public in the coming days.
Okay, and what's next for the businesses that were visited today?
The searches, once, some of which I'm not sure may have been completed, some are ongoing. Once they're complete, law enforcement will leave the premises, and then the business can operate as they wish under the law.
And what kind of message do you hope to send to the community here?
Hopefully the message is that we're a country of laws. The United States Attorney's Office, with our federal, state, and local partners, are going to enforce federal law. When we encounter violations of federal law, it'll be investigated and, if appropriate, prosecuted. Here we have, as I detailed earlier, numerous types of federal violations, from white-collar PPP fraud to drug trafficking and harboring of illegal aliens, guns, and so forth. So hopefully the message is we're here, we're active, and we're going to do what we can to protect this community.
For those the 40 or so people that were detained as part of the investigation and the raids at different restaurants, what is the process for them now? Are they going to be detained locally, or are they moved to Louisiana, or what have you? And is there going to be any more information released on who they are, anything like that?
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Brian Acuna. I'm the acting field office director for ICE in New Orleans. The individuals that you asked about are currently in ICE New Orleans field office custody. They're going to be detained in some of our detention facilities here in the state of Alabama, and from there they're going to go through the due process that's owed to them in their individual circumstances swiftly, and they'll be removed from the United States after that point.
Were they involved in the alleged conspiracies that you alleged happened with Mr. Reyes, or were these just men and women who were working in the Mexican restaurants and were just there when y'all arrived and were detained because of your presence there?
Well, as you heard the U.S. Attorney talk about, a lot of this is still unfolding, and if there's any interest of people that we have in custody, federal authorities will be talking to each other and working to uphold public safety to complete this investigation.
All right, there you have a news conference out of Alabama, specifically in Mobile, where we are hearing from several different officials, including
Thank you, Tim. I had it on mute. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you for alerting me to that. Thank you. But basically what I was saying is that we are this close from crypto really being regulated. You know, this bill stops a lot of these guys from being able to come up with a coin and scam the people and rug pull. You know, we're getting closer to stopping the scamming. You know, like an example, like Cali Muscle came up with a Cali coin, and he got all this money from the followers, and then he rug pulled it, and it went down to zero, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. And there's no way that you can go after the guy. But with this bill, now you can go after those type of guys that are scamming the people for the crypto. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me. I love and I appreciate y'all, everybody that's been rocking with me, everybody that come in and chill with me and give good information and help me out over here. I really appreciate y'all. Everybody that hit the like button, I appreciate you. Everybody that's been subscribing to the channel, I really appreciate you. So with that being said, y'all have a great day. Enjoy your day. We got Pacquiao fighting tonight. We got Dustin Poirier fighting tonight. The UFC 318. I will be going live tonight. Y'all come and join it and kick it with me. We got Manny Pacquiao. We got Dustin Poirier, UFC 318, New Orleans style. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. Till later. Hope y'all have a great day. I will be back. With that being said, it's the one and only Stock Sniper. I hope y'all got valuable information today, because that's the goal that I'm trying to do, put up as much valuable information as I can. So with that being said, I love and I appreciate y'all. To the next one. See y'all tonight. Go Pacquiao. Go Dustin Poirier. Till tonight, guys. Come kick it with me. I'm out.